Hi, I'm Suzi Burtenshaw. I'm running for Welfare International Officer. I think you should vote for me because I'm passionate about the Students' Union and know I can make a difference.
Okay. Oh, brilliant, that's quite short. Yeah, well, thanks for coming in, Suzi. I looked at your manifesto. You've got some, it's quite long and lengthy. Not as a bad thing as comprehensive, I meant. Not boring at all. So you've got lots of things about sort of a finance campaign you want to run. That's quite good, I like that, especially in these times of high tuition fees. It just seems that your answer to some things are doing a questionnaire. If that seems a bit like, I don't want to do any work, but I'll do a questionnaire.
I thought the questionnaire was a good idea to discover what real issues students have.
So you don't know at the moment?
Sorry?
You don't know what they are at the moment?
Well, I do know, this is what's in my manifesto, but then there are some underlying issues that I might not know about that are like, problems that people might not want to talk about face to face. With this questionnaire, I'm hoping it could be like an online thing and people would maybe open up to like their real issues.
Okay.
Something like one big question, is it one big survey that Services did earlier this year?
Yeah.
Because I just think it's a really good way to find out what students actually want.
Okay. So one of the things you like your students coming out, then you've got mental health is in your. So you've got this idea of promoting counselling. And there's a lot of people say this, and you want to hope students can come out, tell you I've got a mental health problem, and then you can go and hand them over to an already overworked mental health service. Mm-hmm. So they've had to go the pain of telling you that they've got a mental health issue, that whole massive step in their life, and then when they come to you, you can offer them nothing because the service is already overworked.
Well, maybe that's something I need to work on looking to see why the waiting list is so long. Maybe work out how to maybe reduce it. Maybe the university needs to employ someone else. Maybe we could set up some sort of a self-help group, like the eating disorder group.
So let's say, if you employ someone else, you reasonably, sports get $250,000, cut some of their grant and pay for a mental health worker.
Not necessarily cutting something out, but maybe finding. Obviously, the funds have to come from somewhere, but maybe something from, I don't know. Maybe it's just something I need to look into. Obviously.
Okay.
But
So first in the job, you're gonna find other ways to finance mental health within Leicester.
Well, if it's a service that students.
It seems that cities have a campaign to get more people to use mental health services, and you need to have more provision. I think that'd be obvious. But, so ISWP, the International Student Welcome Week, for people who don't know. What part of that did you like the best?
I think it's a good way to integrate international students into the home country. 95% of students thought it was a success. I think another way to make it better would be maybe to make it a bit more to embrace the British culture.
Okay.
Because I think there's a lot of things about all the national societies have their own events and things. But maybe we need to do something like.
So a British National Society?
No, not necessarily. Maybe, I know a few years ago there was a tea and cake society which was quite popular, especially with international students. And it's a good way to kind of embrace the British culture, which I think if students want to come to England, they need to kind of.
In a city that has EDL marches.
Sorry?
In a city that has EDL marches, you think embracing British culture is the way forward?
Sorry?
In a city that it has famous for now for English Defence League.
Yeah.
The coming here and embracing British nationalism is a good idea.
Well, obviously not the EDL, but maybe the British culture as a whole is generally quite positive.
That's fine. DLOC campaign, create one that already exists.
Yeah, but I was talking to PC Harvey Watson about it, and he thinks that it should be made compulsory to have a DLOC. Obviously, that can't actually happen. But I think maybe a good idea would be to put sort of stickers on bikes, such as they do in the library with laptops. Yeah. Maybe next time it could be a thief.
Okay. Budget finance, we're not really like that. It's a good idea. Having education finance fits in the government's plans, and you can work quite closely with them. Would it be more prudent, though, as you're planning on offering or publicising the short-term loans we can give students who don't get the student loans through? Maybe that's a bit more reactive than proactive. You're just dealing with a problem rather than trying to solve the problem.
not necessarily. I think a lot of students don't actually know about the problem in about like hardship funds and things in general.
But couldn't we try and stop having to use hardship funds by?
Well, that's what I'm hoping with my finance campaign, is to maybe provide literature on how to actually, work out how to use your money well, because I know a lot of people come to university and they get this massive lump sum all in one go and they go a bit crazy. Yeah. And I think maybe teaching students how to budget and things is a good idea.
That's good. Yeah. I've really quite a hard time, so I think it's best time to let you go. But thanks for coming in, Susie, and good luck with the campaign.
Thanks.
Cheers.